Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to 024 Network, reporting live from Lelo Studios. It's your boy, Krxtoz. I got my boy.
This is Ayeezy.
Yeah. Hey, today,
Hey, Lord.
hey, don't shout like, oh, these niggas are fucking. Nah,
We are starstruck.
the big guy.
We are starstruck.
Even though,
That's it.
Penson
Mlotshwa.
No.
Yes.
No.
Mlotshwa, I do it. Mlotshwa.
How's it, bro? How's it going?
Hey, bro, thank you so much for having me.
Yo, it's an honor.
Like,
It's an honor.
you guys don't understand. I think you guys hit me up a while ago.
Yeah.
And I just said, Wuti, the next time Newcastle, I have to come through and just make sure, Wuti, you know, you slip them as much as you can. But thank you so much, guys. It's a huge
Appreciate
honor
you
for me.
so much.
Hey, bitch. Yo.
Hey, Lord.
We
We are shaking. We are shaking.
Yeah, my recent guest was about like Bambi,
Sure.
was born on the same day we were shooting. This nigga,
No, man, that's
Hey,
unprofessional. That's
hey,
unprofessional.
Bala. Yeah.
Show up. I'm like, hey, anyway.
Anyways,
it's
man.
Another day.
It's
It
not-
ain't about that, man.
No, but
Sure.
you're hearing a
Yeah.
lot, you know. But I'm excited about the topics. Thank you so much for what you said. And thanks so much for the support. I think sometimes for a lot of us, we are away from our home, our base where we feel most comfortable, and we're alone in whichever city, town that we're in. And every now and again, when you send a DM or when you repost something, you know, it's a huge honor. And I see some of the stuff that you guys have been doing and a lot of the love that you're giving Amachita. You know, it's something that's very humbling. And on their behalf, I just want to say thank you so much.
Yeah. Go on, Tim. Cool.
That's the job we're trying to push every artist, every creative.
Yeah.
Normally, like you guys said, this one
Stuff, though.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of mind. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that. You know, we're constantly competing. We want to see, I'm the biggest wolf. Instead of saying, no, there's enough for all of us to do. There's enough for all of us to eat. There's enough space. You know, so really, again, it's great to be here.
Yeah, man. Can you tell us more about markets?
Mlotshwa.
Before I start, I just want to give a shout out to Andy Chili.
Yeah,
So Andy Chili does just water. Guys.
It's just water,
Cherry
man.
flavored.
Yeah.
If you know Newcastle, Yashisa, guys. Yashisa in Newcastle. But December. So get yourself support to Andy there. It's just water. So thanks so much for this, guys.
Sir.
Hey, so I'm a Newcastle boy, born and raised in Kule, like 4. So in my dad, yeah. So in Kule, you know those stories. You know all our stories all sound sad. You know. So I am Kule. I'm the middle of 3. So I've got an older brother, Penweli, shout out Lungelo. And then I've got a baby sister, Ulungis, Penrose. Amazing. You know, I'm spoiled. My siblings are fucking amazing. You know, so if you don't know them, hit them up on social media. Penson Mlotshwa. God Pen. And then Penrose Mloshwa. But
So yonke le nihamba ngobo pens.
pen.
Yeah, pen.
Mina ngulungisani kodwa ngimbiza ngomthobisi besilungisa. PL.
Hey.
But it's smart. It's a name, so it is what it is. But going back to who I am, born 14 April 1989. Ngizalwe e3 kahle. Clinic e3. My mom actually gave birth to me in Kakwen. She couldn't make it to clinic. So yeah, she was walking and she gave birth to me then. Kule e4 time I rider. So there's still that ground before I asked about Simzam. Ground rider. He passed 2020.
RP rider.
So grew up in Matateni, then already moved us to Abu Park. So I Abu Park, and then from Abu Park, I Centrally. And we were very, very privileged having Oleti push. Oleti was a teacher. And she still is. So we're very privileged in that space because then she afforded us funda a busy piece, funda Newcastle senior, funda high, so that came with all of that. But to be honest with you guys, you see Umuntu's life publicly, but you don't know what they're going through privately. So
Specs.
a lot of the things that we've spoken, and we've been very public, my brother and I talk about it. Time was very abusive. So time I used to beat up my mom. So when we make one escape, when I don't cheat, I don't come but abazi ukuthi sibani oledi kuphela and yena osibambe sonke. Abazi ukuthi itime limenza kanjani umama yabona. So ekuseni wena uphuma endlini akudliwanga khona next akho mali but mawufika lapho khona isilise tops balophe lo cheese ball yabona isikhala soda lapho uyayismalisa because again as kids you have to assimilate to the space that you're in. You have to act brave, you have to have happy, you act like but everything's okay but yakhala ngaphakathi type of thing. So it was very challenging in that. My brother and I, my little sister, my sister came, she's 10 years younger, 9 years younger, so there's a bit of a gap. What we then took to was doing activities as kids, So you're understanding? So then you spend a lot of time choir, rugby, those type of things, so that you can kind of escape that type of thing. And we became really good at those things.
Yes.
We became really good at pretending that everything is okay. We became really good at finding out what the school glorified. So we did that. We became strong academically. It didn't give us a chance. That's fun. But like most Newcastle boys, I got up to Newcastle shit that we all get to. Gary Boy, Groundini, that was my life. I left, I matriculated in Newcastle High in 2006, and then I went to Krxtoz in the Eastern Cape. So, Makan. So, and that's a very, very small academic town. Very, very small. And my brother was already studying at Rhodes. So me moving to Rhodes was so crazy. Because a lot of the things when you have an older brother, I don't know if some of your viewers, maybe they might relate that have an older brother, you're constantly compared. So if you are good at something, it's because your brother's also good at it. Because your brother. And if it just happens with something is not your talent, I mean, he's good at singing and you're not. No, why don't know what's too much in it? So Leo, when you're young, cause a friction, But when I was older and I got to air roads, those things that people used to try and compete and make us fight actually is what brought us together. Because he's already opened so many channels. So for me it became a lot easier. And all those advantages that before I didn't see, now I'm taking full advantage. Okay. And even as the first year, no first is allowed.
Yes.
So it really got us close. I went to Rhodes. I studied philosophy and psychology. I loved it. Well, didn't start like that. I started off studying BSc in earth science and geology. 18%, 9%, angazi semester ufunde boy. My lecture, library, put me results 9%. But I learned that's not my thing. There's certain things that just not yours. Because when I moved over to philosophy and I started studying those thinkers, and I moved to psychology and I moved to anthropology and sociology, I was like, shit, I actually understand this. This is my thing. So it was that. Weirdly enough, I was coaching at the same time. at a school called Kingswood College.
Yeah.
Very, very prestigious IEB school in Grahamstown.
Yeah.
And when I was coaching there, my mentor at the time, Osizweni, was like, "You're so good with the kids."
The coaching.
Coaching.
All rugby, all sports, yes.
Coaching, and it was like, "You're really, really good at communicating with. Why don't you get into teaching?" I said, yeah. The coaching disc, yeah. But I think it is in a time because it was kind of associated with that negative, right? You understand?
Yeah.
So whenever there's that, it was kind of like almost triggering.
Even if you ulthanda.
Yeah. But once, yeah.
Ubanzinyana.
Because it's triggering. Yeah, that. Sure. Zingelo is to amaphoyisa babhekicele. We've got a poacher. Can you please arrest him? Sasizingela facts angithole izinja. Yeah. Yabona lo othathe u-AKA uhambisana nabantu abazingelayo. Intern around usenzibayiwa ubani na
Kule nayo le ngqwele. Kule nayo le ngqwele.
Yabona.
Mhlawumbe
ubhuti wami. No, but it's so beautiful because those are the stories around Newcastle. Those are the stories around Diamond. As much as he was very bad to us, but he was such a great father to many. So just because when you didn't like your ex, in her new relationship, no. So those were a lot of the positives with Mlotshwa. But going back to, I was coaching rugby, and he said this, and I didn't take him seriously. And the following year, I worked for an NGO, and I was doing a life skills program. And that was tough. Was tough. And I'd go into homes and as a young, I was about 22 at that time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I had the EQ and the strength. And as a result, I remember I was offloading this to my mentor, and he was like, "Look, just try teaching, because I wanted to still carry on and get into the master's program in psychology, but you need to be 25, the way that they had set up. It's like, get into teaching, get some experience, and you can always go back to study." So I was like, okay, no shot. I taught grade 11, grade 12, life orientation, and I loved it. I loved every part of being in the classroom. 2013, I then moved from Grahamstown to Joburg. When I wanted to get closer to the family, I was very far. I felt isolated, and I moved to Jozi Mabone. So I moved to Joburg, and I was with my then partner. We both moved, and we both were teaching at a school called St. Stephen's. Shout out St. Stephen's, another very, very prestigious school. These schools, for people, as I want to don't understand, because they're looking at the economic post, like because if you look at these schools, school fees every month you're paying about 16,000 a month.
16.
And I'm born, we used to struggle. And the high, I believed, was so expensive, and we used to pay 3,000 rand a year, a whole year. So how much is that? That's like 300 rand a month. So now you look at these other schools, it's 16,000 a month. If your child's at the port and you're sending him to like a Hilton, 30K a month. And when I was school fees, 100 scored. Hundreds. So all these schools that we take for granted, because in a tradition, there's people that are living a different life. There's people who are living, there's people who are living a totally different life that financially, they're on a total different spectrum. And when I started teaching at these schools, I got to see that. I got to see what money, power, and influence looks like. I remember my first year, I taught Uzwelami. Uzwelami is the great grandchild, Kamandela. And he's sitting and and it's his birthday, he's happy, and I knew Umawake Uzolega RIP. And you sit there, you sit with the mom, and then one day we're just sitting, on his birthday, and I'm going, I'm starstruck. I'm like, Jesus, this is and you start seeing all those people, you start seeing I used to coach and I figured in Balula, you see, like, so this is where your kids go to. I'm very privileged with my kids because my kids are in the same school with like Inganiga Z1 and whatnot. So you're sitting in a staff meeting and you're going, like, so and you start realizing, oh shit, these are the spaces that these people move in, and these people are very, very privileged. So I started teaching there, and then I started moving around my education, blah 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 blah, and then I left teaching in 2020. I got into media. I did 360 or 180 shift from education into a media space. I was doing digital advertising. I was in sales. Worked for an amazing company called Ad Colony. My then new mentor and boss, Mike Van Donner, amazing guys. I learned how media works. Media. Hey guys, media is the most powerful thing ever. You see what you guys are doing here. You might not see it now, because you're like, oh, right now we might not be at the level that we're like to. You don't understand the power and the influence that you will have as you continue this journey. As you continue this journey, as the channel grows, you will be surprised about the people and the caliber of people that you'll get sitting right in between you, and the influence that you'll have, and the number of minds you'll be able to shift through media. Through media, we can get you to buy a car that you had no. Through media, you have people right tonight who are going to be selling their bodies to get a certain phone. How is this phone, if we're honest, how is this phone better than the latest Huawei phone? How is it better than the best Redmi phone? It's not. But because the one person, it's Apple. How is your Adidas top better than hers? How? But it's advertising. It's conditioned. Right now we've got the war, Palestine versus Israel. Media is selling a narrative. The same media that told us that Nelson Mandela is a terrorist, and then after prison, the same media said he's a hero. It's media that flips. And once I got there and I started working with my big bosses, the Jewish community think very differently. Media in this country, a lot of the real influential people are Jewish people. So you learn how they think and how they do business and how they interact, and you go, wow, we've got a lot of learning, So my now mentor, Ken Verdigis, Andrew Cromer, these are very, very powerful, smart, intelligent guys that when you see how they move, you're like, we have no cooking clue. And then when I saw that, I was like, I need to start my own. So then I started my own company. It's a media group. And I won't but I've also been jumping around, and I'm also in another different space. So right now I work for another huge multinational international company. It's when you sit there and you work with some of these clients, and you're doing international calls, and I'm just sitting there. Something you're doing a call at like 8 with Germany, we're doing a call something at 10 at night, and you're talking to San Francisco, and you're sitting there and you're like, how the world is working in order to influence you so that you can buy this NBA pants. It's not you who woke up one day and just said, I'm just in it. It's someone that sold you. Yes. We didn't know anything about the NBA until someone sold us a Michael Jordan. Until someone sold us a Shaquille O'Neal, until someone sold us a Magic Johnson. We were sold to those people. We didn't know anything about F1 racing until someone sold us a Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton. You understand? We are sold to those people. And now all of a sudden they are heroes. They are this, they are that, they are that. So once I got into media, I was like, you know what? I actually need to start understanding how this works. not just in front of the camera, but understanding behind the camera. It's the people that are behind the camera that are making the decisions. You know, right now the people that are watching this are seeing just the 3 people here, but they don't understand there's monsters behind the cameras that are making sure things are running, and things are running smooth. You know, and then if we do this well and it's uploaded, then we start working in terms of media language where we talk about search engine optimization, SEO. So that means when someone just starts searching the word podcast, your one's the first one to pop up. You know, when someone is going on YouTube and writing MacG, your one's the first one to pop up. If we start playing around with the algorithms, you know, and you start tailoring it to a point where if a person is in Newcastle, the first ad that they served is your one. Why? Because we picked up their device ID and you understand which they within the location. As well as and you understand that's where the media landscape is. So for me, it's been such an amazing journey understanding the media space, you know, and then slowly trying to also, as much as I understand the background, yeah. Sorry, I speak for forever.
Oh, it came. It's a thing.
You're already taking off on the journey of the
Yeah.
Yo, damn, doing new things every day. Media, bitch.
Hey.
Ooh.
So I need my dad.
Come on,
Nah, anyway.
Hey guys, just what I undid. Well done,
bro.
Dango.
Bro.
But yeah, I saw that you had sent me a list of topics and I was so excited.
Yeah.
And so I just want to get to the one that I wanted to talk about.
Mm.
Can I last week? Can I just jump?
Bro,
It's a
Actually,
first part.
no,
No, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a podcast, bro. We're having a conversation.
I don't need it. I'm going to put it on without pop. Just jump on my topic. No. I'm getting to my topic.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I want to know what are your thoughts on load shading and the recent rain manipulation? The series, but
So I think Denzel says this quote. He says, if you watch the news or if you read the news, you'll be misinformed, and if you don't watch the news, you'll be uninformed. You know, so you have to now. Do you want the wrong news or no news? So people don't understand, especially us South Africans. We don't understand what rain manipulation is. We don't understand what load shedding is. We don't understand the cause. Cause is nothing. What we know is we are good Twitter and seeing and we jump onto the same topic. We don't understand the causes of load shedding. As Black South Africans, we don't even understand how it becomes a case. Why ilahle? Why not ikabati? You know, why not a leaf? Why not? We don't understand how that process works. So when we told Guti amanzi malahle sevuma because we know nothing, right? When we told Guti the price of petrol is, we know nothing, so we just accept. You know, we don't know what brand manipulation is. What's that? What is it? So again, I think the big thing that we need to do, then like good students, and try and understand. So let's talk about load shedding. Before we get this, so we don't have electricity. What is electricity? What does it look like? How do you get electricity? What's the significance of coal? Okay, so they take this coal, they burn this coal, they boil water, steam, turbines, kinetic energy, converting. That's it. Can we not maybe instead of using coal, use wood? Can we not maybe use nuclear power? Why not nuclear power if it's said that it's the most efficient one? Why not use gas? Why not use? And you try and understand, there's bigger conversations happening. You know, why is it that every 2 weeks we have the whole delegates around ESCOM in China? What are the discussions happening in China? Why is now China supplying us with coal? China. Why is it that we're exporting 80% of our coal? You know, with COVID happening, we now export more coal, 400% more coal than we've ever. So now you're telling us that we don't have coal, but we're exporting over 400% of the coal. You know, it's not. You know, it's no case.
Hey, matter. Okay. Same case.
Okay. No case. So what is actually happening? What is load shedding? And I really think with the South African, instead of just having these fat chats, we first need to understand. So again, I believe, and this is a topic that some people might not like. I believe that we are living in a mafia state. I believe Wuti, the guys who are put in power are just puppets. Yeah. And there's real people behind them, that are making a lot of money. South Africa is resource-wise, natural resources. We're one of the wealthiest countries in the world. We have everything from your gold to your diamonds to your coal. We've got everything. We've got enough coal to power the whole of Africa. You can destroy that. So now you're trying to understand why is it that when we go see Malakhin, why is it when we go to all these power stations, why is it that they're using rocks to mess up these power stations? Why is it that they're not being upgraded? Why is it we've got enough money? Why is it that all these things are happening? You realize, okay, there's bigger powers behind what is happening. Like most of our what's this word? Our state-owned entities, they're getting auctioned off and they're being bought. They're being bought. Okay, Gudlu, post office is no more. Postnet is shooting up. Gudlu, SA is dying. All of a sudden, Fly SA, Baba. All these other airlines are shooting up as our national ones. So then you start looking at our education system. The public school is going down, and the boom of the private school. You're looking at the hospital systems. All the government hospitals are getting worse. And so who are these people that are making money in times of crisis? Who are these people who are selling us inverters, selling us solar panels? Who are these people who are wanting to now privatize nuclear power plants? Who are these people? And you realize, okay, all of this is a financial move. All this is a power move, So the best way for me to take control is for me to first break this, take away the competition, and I can build my own. So, if I know, I start now a private company that sells nuclear power, and I sell it at half the cost that Eskom does. How many South Africans will jump onto it? And then I keep squeezing Eskom, let them die off, and then I just force everybody to jump in here. And all the powers that be, I give them champur. If there's one thing that we know, it's corruption. 9 billion, so shut up, sharp, bye. And we carry on. It's how it is. Anytime if you die and you go to a government, who's only in the point, at this time we see our education system every year get worse and worse and worse. Back in the day, there was pride in the schools. Back in the day, we had mafia escalates. Back in the day, we had straight. Much of bigger man, yeah, understanding some issue.
Tape.
Oh, it's
Tape. No, come on.
It was structured, it was system. My nurse had pride. Police had pride. These days, there's none of that. And what's turned around is the private sector. So when I look at something like an Eskom, I realize that, there are power plays that are happening, and we're just the puppets. We are just the casualties of war. Unfortunately, it's the same thing with the rand manipulation. It's not new. The rand has always been manipulated. It's very, very simple. If we are trading in water, for example, if I want to buy something from you, I will make sure I make water very available. So I've got a lot of water. But then when it's the roles reversed, the piece of money making a resource. That's all that's happening. That's what the banks were doing. Whenever they wanted to buy something, they'd manipulate the rand and make the rand weak. And then whenever they wanted to sell, they make the rand strong. It's simple. These are all numbers, guys. What is the rand? A piece of paper. What is it? Can you eat it? And if you were to go right now to Gaza, where people are getting bombed every day, Miss Uniga, a starving child, $100. Will that help them? We are fine. There's no bread. The actual money means nothing. It's just a token. So these guys can manipulate. Find data, right? They just manipulate it. Who told you that a video is going to consume that much data and a picture consumes that much? Someone is manipulating these things. Because when 8 episode, it chows so much airtime. Because it chows so much. I'm still talking to you, right? Yeah. Someone is manipulating the
didn't know
code.
ngale time.
Oh.
Yeah, bangifonela ngo-9 ebusuku. Ngiyakhuluma nawe. Thing. None of it is real. Do we understand how airtime works? We don't. Therefore, we'll pay. Why is irradio imali? Kusho ukuthi it's waves. Khona someone uhleli mhlambe useThekwini uhleli wenza ukhozi siyamuza so it's waves, ne? Same with the cell phone, right? Amaphoyisa aphatha off, ne? Omunye lana omunye le. It's waves, ne? Same thing with the phone. It's waves. But someone is manipulating it, like the rand, like the this. Someone is trying to. It's a power struggle. All of these things. Is it not? On that data, all of a sudden it's a big value. Or data, for my waves. That's all it is. Constantly. So when you look at rand manipulation, something that has always been there, something that will always be there, it's power plays. You know. So again, my question is, what's the solution? That's where I'm stuck. Kubekish. Ngikumekish. Hayi. Hayibo.
For real. Yeah. Let's go back.
Kakhulu la.
Hey.
It's too hot here.
Who invited you? Who invited you here? Here.
Yo.
Who invited you here, Mr. Manzam? It's we all just little pawns in this game that they play. All of us. We all just little pawns. There's not much evidence. I remember the one time I'm driving, so I used to drive this parking, and in Yamiswa, Masindli, and at Mapoisa gave me, we just got a tip off that someone stole a Ford Ranger parking silver like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like, can you check your registration? None. Same clean, man, on the side. I was like, okay, no shop. And then, bangeni motweni, but by your check. Same clean motweni. But at this case, ne drivers. So same clean. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, I go there and I say, hey, Machida, nothing's happened. But they try to call, but the system will be offline. Ne? Means so imagine until when? But we verify that this is not a stolen car. Oh. So how do we do that? Yeah, but the system. But right now you're a suspect. Oh, nothing is suspect. Because now I'm also frustrated. That's as a suspect, now we can arrest. Now wait until it's finish the process. I need to finish the process. Can I suspect you just giving? So check her. Fit. Yeah, ngitshela ukuthi khona kanjani system. Ngavele ngawabuka kanje ngawabunga tsala. Labantu ngiyazi bafuna. Ngabantu 50 ngathi bafethu 1000 nanku 50 ngicela endlini. Ngawathatha vibe. Sekuphele ngisayona suspect manje. Sekuphele. Yebo. Sekuphele. When they pull me over. Yes, police. But it's that. It's living in a mafia state because there's nothing that you can do. Can we keep going? Are we rocking? All right. I think it's the easiest way to go when we say Stellenbosch Mafia as if they are the only playmakers in this country. But even I started there in Newcastle. There's people here in Newcastle that dictate certain movements. You know, Newcastle. When was it? 20. My dates might be off, so forgive me if I'm wrong. So I might be looking at 2015. I think there was Makantela I4 that was shot and killed. Yeah, boy. You know, that's not Stellenbosch Mafia. That's not Stellenbosch Mafia. Yeah, boy. Bakshaya manje boy bakulahle phansi. Ela ngakho uzoboshwa. Kuyakhutsheka nje. like it's nothing. So we might say things, okay, shop the Oppenheimers, one of the Ruperts, we might say and blame. It's easier,
Yeah.
But there's always been so many stakeholders. If you look at Zuma Mlotshwa, he was influenced by the Guptas. But the Guptas were already there. They were huge funders. If you look at Julius, when they have, who's this Italian guy? Mazzoli. Those guys, there's many funders. A guy won't just have one person funding his campaign. They won't. There'll be so many people funding campaigns. You can fund the campaign and then also have a stake. So again, mina mangibona ukuthi khona umjidalana ozophatha leyo wodi and ngiyazi mina ukuthi ngifuna ukuvula i-bottle store. I-bottle store is one of the hardest things that you can open with the Bacillus because you need a liquor license. But if I know ukuthi khona umjida wami, then ngizokwazi ukuthi ngivule i-bottle store, ngivule ne-club nyana, ngishisa nyama, I can do that. So I'm going to make sure ukuthi ngifake umjida wami. Ukuthi wena campaign
lenga.
Siyakutshela sithi yazi ingozi sikhuluma campaign. What siyakumove kuhle. Wile ithatha iwoti liquor license ngivule. Dayisa utshwala ekuseni ngesonto elisike. Mina ngaphandle nendawo. Dayisa utshwala. That's what happens. So I think sometimes we very quick to look at the Stellenbosch Mafia, this, that, or Krxtoz Visa, or Ackerman, as willing that, and understand who manages the economy like us. Ubanos Pete, wonke labo bhoti bokuhamba laba abaphethe iphaza zethu, who's opening the doors for them, so that they can move. Who are those people that are giving them green lights? Why are they giving them a green light over Umamsbiya, who's now had to close his puzzle sakhe in order to, what's happening? What's the narrative around us, and how can we influence that? But if we're gonna look up there, if it's fine, basketball, compete and so I think that's the thing. But there's too many power players. There's too many, and they rich. I've got a great story. So for those that can't share on the mic, this says a lot of things that we don't have available in places like in Newcastle, and that's true. So this is a story that I heard. This one factory sells shoes. They sell shoes. They sell a Matig, and they've got 2 salesmen. So they send the one salesman to this one town to sell the shoes. And the one salesman goes to the town and sees everybody walking barefoot. So he comes back and he says, let's not sell any shoes there. No one wears shoes. It's pointless. Let's not wear shoes. The second salesman goes to the exact same town, comes back running excited. And he says, hey guys, no one wears shoes. Let's go sell shoes. So the nice thing about when there's nothing to do, that means when you start something, everybody's waiting to do something. So when among us, hey, guys, there's nothing to do. Let's start a netball tournament. Because there's nothing to do, I knows of Twala straight your netball tournament. Break dancing. Because there's nothing to do, people will flock to that one thing, and charge about 10 rand again. All of a sudden, check out of nowhere, it's a 500. Just you go jive, and then all of a sudden you guys are there with your cameras, you guys are recording, you guys have content, you guys upload it. So you guys would once a month share my breakdown, next month it's and all of a sudden people look forward to that because there is nothing to do. So give me, it's always that mindset of with every problem there is a great business opportunity. And if you can start thinking like that, okay, load shedding, that's perfect. I love it. There's one engine. Solar panel to a page. Missing Bulinda or meeting charge on my phone. Imagine Langa is next fence. Solar panel page. Load shedding, sharp. She phone up like 30 minutes. 20 rand. Buyers, I don't like to know. Load shedding, what we charge phone up and I'm feeling and charge the moves done. 20 rand. There's a great, so when I super load shedding schedules because we ask the money. So it's all those things of okay, what are the problems that are arising and how can I find business opportunities in those places? So again, I work in the space that I'm in, I'm constantly trying to find out people's problems, you know, because the moment I find out a problem, I go, okay, sharp. I'm in this space. You know what? Let me actually come with a portable aircon. And I come through and I say, look, for every hour, because you might not need it all the time, I'll rent it out. Ngiyafika nje, every hour, ngiyazi mina ukuthi nje khona ibhizinisi elilana, ngishaya ngiklik. Gone. I found a problem and I'm giving you a business solution. So that's just my thinking. You know.
Game.
Oh, uthi game iningi. I think nje ukuthi inkinga zami zingaphezulu kwamandla ami. So you start learning. So you start learning little tricks as you go. Ne?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The more life gives you a kick in the behind, the tougher you become, and the more skilled you have to be in order to face these things. I think the strongest amongst us have gone through the most pain. You know, that saying, Muti, the best police officer is the one that has experienced the most crime. You know, so again, you want to embrace certain challenges because there's a lot of learnings rather than just hiding back and not wanting to put yourself out there because you're scared that you're going to fail or whatever the case may be. And that's been one of the greatest blessings of my young life is that I've experienced more pain than other people. You know, as a family, we've experienced more pain, even though people might not see it on the outside. And through that pain, it's allowed us to get closer. It's allowed us to be more aware of our surroundings. It's allowed us to be able to pick out certain solutions. You know, you see, you find a plan. You know, something must happen. You know, something must happen. You know, but something must happen. So your brain is working. Your brain is working because I can't just sit still. Something needs to happen. So yeah, man, that's just my thinking.
Yeah. Hey, bro, unemployment rate is so high. Especially if we.
Sure.
How is it so important to, as a youngster, like in the country, to go vote for 2024 elections? Good question, bro. What do you what do you mean that why should I vote?
No, why should you vote and who are you going to vote for?
Okay, why should I vote? Like being checked.
So who are you going to vote for?
EFF ban. I feel like EFF ban. I feel like we need to give them another.
So what do you feel about EFF's foreign border policy?
Yeah,
but they stand on that. They're very firm to that.
Yeah.
So you talk about unemployment.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just give an example. Like haya slambi like sne license 3 ze5 ne kunzima already uzovula umnyango uthi umakhelwane bangeni bazodla lo precise incane ongekho. It's a question. I'm not trying to be anti anything. I'm just saying like us snaking us.
Yeah.
Ne? Snaking that you started by saying that unemployment rate.
Yeah.
Now you open the borders of the rest of Africa to come in. What's going to happen with the unemployment rate? If we sitting what's the number? 60% of youth. You know, so now when you open up borders, what's going to happen to that percentage? I'm not saying we shouldn't look after our brothers and sisters in other countries. I'm just saying before me as a father, how about I first feed my kids, make sure and whatever's remaining, then I can go help Kwamakela. Why is it that when we're sitting in a country where there's GBV, there's rape, there's the crime levels, the corruptions, the unemployment, the this, the that is so high and disgusting? Why is Jahe before can we not just first work on us?
Yeah.
I'm not saying other people shouldn't come through. I'm saying, can we just work on us? I mean, I can't take a guy seriously like Julius who lives in a fancy neighborhood with high walls. With all, if he's all about helping the next door neighbor, take away your walls. I mean, that's essentially in a smaller thing. if you're so pro taking away borders, because there's a reason why there's a border between countries. Why do you have walls around your home? Why do you have walls around our home? Julius must take the walls around his home. Free end in and out of Africa, right? Okay, take away the walls in your home so that abantu abahluphekayo abadinga usizo bazokwazi ukungena ekitchen kwaJulius ebhizi ehlafuna naye bathathe. That I'm like, for me, it's a nonsensical point. And just based on that, I was like, why would I vote for this person? It makes no point at all. I mean, when it comes to political parties, including the ANC, the DA, I'm tired of this notion of word politics. You know, because it's again, don't tell me you love me, show me you love me. Like, imagine I tell you every day I love you, but I'm trying to bang. What do you value, the words or the action? Imagine me telling you ngizokugaya 100 rand. Would you rather me tell you ukuthi ngizokupha 100 rand noma ngikuphe 5 rand? The action ngiphe 5 rand ngibambe versus you telling me and selling me the 100 rand story. How many years have we been sold these stories? But like maybe it's just me. I can't think of one school that Julius has built, one clinic. I maybe you know. I mean, I don't. This is a guy who will publicly talk about everything else that other parties don't do. I have very, very good friends who work in the municipality in Cape Town, you know. And if you go to Cape Town and we are a Philippi and you go to Marbre and you go to Kukulet, those places are poor. DA. I'm like, you guys in Cape Town just highlight Camps Bay. That's like saying Uguti, the NC is doing a phenomenal job because I'm showing him Santa. No, I want to see how the poorest people live. And in Cape Town, the gap between the haves and the have-not is huge. If you go around and you just leave Cape Town and you start going to Fishhook and you start going to Paul Battle and you don't go to where the rich white people live and you go to Abahlali Bendawo, you go, no ways, is this a DA-run area? Now I must vote for these people that can't look after their own. I must vote for ANC that we've seen them childcare. We've seen them. We've seen abantu millions in the sofa guabo buying buffaloes for millions of money. I must vote for ANC. I mean, when people say I must vote, I just go, for who? And then I must deny wait.
But if you don't vote, still celebrate ANC.
I've voted 3 times. Now I've voted in those guys too. Messing up a tell no Ramaphosa win.
If we don't vote, maybe vote for ANC.
Okay, I'm saying vote.
Fucking kata.
As you know, I look at it and I just say, you look at all these industries, because again, it's all microcosms of the greater South Africa. And I'm saying, Wuti, how many times have we changed mayors as a Newcastle? You know, ever since I was born, to many times. How has that changed my own personal life? It has, you know, every year on year, we've seen a decline. You know, every year we've seen the economy get worse and worse. You know, I look at the little areas that are run by them. So if you say there will be a change, should I vote for the DA? I'm saying, why is there no change in a DA-run municipality? If you go to a Philippi right now, police station, Amapoisa was striking because they wanted to move the police station because the police were saying it's too dangerous. Now you're gonna tell me, so now I'm gonna vote for the DA that can't run in Manu, Mina mangavula isiphazela ngithi run it, and you fail to run his pass. Why would I make you the manager of a Pick and Pay? If you can't fucking run his pass right, you can't do nothing. Dog, if you can't wash dishes right, you can't tell me about managing nothing. If you can't manage the little things that you have, now must be. What are we hearing about the EFF doing where Julius is from Limpopo? What are we hearing? What has he done that people are now posting? Because I tell you, there's one thing that we love is Tom. Tell me what he's done back in his hometown. Why do we have to research it? And come about everything else. We saw Fikile Mbalula wearing Dolce and Gabbana. So they want to show off. If people, especially political parties, especially political figures, if they do nice things, they love showing off. Look at what we're doing. So you don't have to research. You just have to, oh, okay, he's done this. I want actionables. So for me, when a political party comes to me and says I must vote, I'll say, please show me. Don't tell me. Show me the stuff that you've done. Then I can say sure. So even if you look at Gates McKenzie, he can literally go and say, in the Karoo, this were their financials. They were in debt. I was mayor. They are no longer in debt. I'll go, I'm not going to give you the nation, but let me give you a bigger district and let's see what you can do there. Because you did this town, you fixed it. Let's give you now a district upward. Let's see again if you can fix that. Then from there, let's give you province. Then from there, but if you can't fix the little things, if you can't as EFF go and clean up Tembis, because as EFF, all we're going to do for the next year is clean up something. I would be the first in line to vote EFF if they can just show me like that, just that one thing. Good, I can do it. Here's proof of concept. I did it. I've cleaned up Hillbrow. The drug dealers, the that is now gone. In this area, it's clean. You can walk at night. It's safe. Sharp. EFF, take my vote. Until then, I just see voting as it's a nebulous act. It's pointless because do our votes matter? Did they matter in '94? What changed for us? From a financial point, what's changed when the average South African is poorer? What's changed when it's been harder? Where the average man can't feed his family now. It's quite because at least we had land, we could farm, now it's harder for the average man to be able to now than it was for our grandfathers. So what's this change that this political party, the pink party or the green party I'm very interested and I'm both ears, and if someone who is smarter than me can come and say I'm an action point. Romanticize. Don't tell me a dream. I'm yawning down. Solar panels work. We're gonna get a better school system. In private school. That's nonsensical. About the public system, public transport system. You through like brigade. Yeah, but if you are the Minister of Health, you must go into the government hospitals.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you are the Minister of Education, government, if you are the Minister of Transport, boy. No, I mean, you are meant to be working for the people. You can't keep selling me these dreams. You cannot keep selling me these dreams. You can't be going to bed on lobster and caviar. Maybe you tell me what you understand. Two slices you can't. Like, I look at these politicians, I'm like, who are you here to work for? Because clearly you're not here to work for the masses. Because you don't understand the masses' pain. One chain Moguti, back when 1970. Yeah, Baba. That's like no, you can't live in luxury for 40 years and then tell me that you understand pain. I'll say but you've moved on. You've moved on, right? And I think that's what's happening with our politicians, where they're selling us these dreams. You've got all these old fuckers about 80, 90 telling us about back in the day when right now you're not understanding the pain of the black child. You're not understanding the pain of the youth, the people who are meant to go forward. We've got nothing to go forward with, and all you guys are doing is that sneaky keep and I must do 2 months in hotel. Get the fuck out of here. I have no time. I get annoyed when
What's the way forward, bro?
This is the way forward.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror. And you look at that motherfucker in the mirror and you say, hey, bro, you need to step the fuck up. you run your home, your life like a political party. You say, I'm the president of my life. I'm the president of my life. I need to find a way to make sure that this political party, the Penson political party, runs efficiently. If you can't run your life, your family, your kids, your siblings, if you can't run that well, ungenaphi ukuthi irana kanjani wena run your family. I'll tell you right now, during load shedding, my house is lit up like a Christmas tree. Because I made sure I'm not going to be waiting for the fucking ANC to ensure I get myself a generator, to get myself an inverter. Why am I for them? Motherfucker, I need to wait for them for. So my kids go to private school. I'm making sure mine is good. And I'm doing everything in my power to make sure my brother, he's things are good. My sister, he's things are good. You know, sutu yabona ukuthi mina angithi azange vele ngivule amabhoda ngiqale ngani yabo ngaba grand ngakwazi ukubhukuda ngafundisa lokubhukuda all of a sudden in my space, my own country, my own political sphere, thina si grand yini ngikhala thina sikhali yini morosed economy okay ndaba. The more we rent and manipulating that in the grand, I'm getting my episode notification. The more you know, Pakistan it's sharp. Sure, he just supply and stock. It's okay. Yeah, well, because again, we realize this is a banana republic. This is a mafia state. So the best thing that you can do is protect yours. I welcome people to come into my home. I make sure I'm militant, I make sure I'm financially strong, I make sure I make the right decisions for my family and for my loved ones. And all of a sudden, it goes back to a podcast. We could either wait in SAPC and it's let's talk. We can please or we can fucking get gents together, get the camera, get mics, do it on our own. And upload and push the stuff, post on Facebook, post on Instagram, post on TikTok, and push our own thing. We can't keep waiting on them because we've seen year after year that they don't give a fuck. Push up, boy. Push up. We train. We get gloves. We train. I train all the time. All the time. We train. The next thing is that we're going to the shooting range. She learns how to shoot. You know. We have to do drills, hijacking drills, home invasion drills. You have to, because by the time I'm okay, so we are aware so much that yeah, ubando. Yeah. I shoot through the door. I've got plenty of, it's waiting for them. I'm king. Right. Yeah, but I've learned to not rely. I'm not waiting on the government to come while I'm drowning in this reality and this hard time. I'm not waiting for the lifesavers to come in soon because I'm teaching myself in my laptop how to swim. Yeah, well, that's it, guys. If you're not realizing now that we fucked, then you're in trouble. If you're not realizing that these guys are wearing international Italian brands, these guys are flying private. These guys are. If you're not seeing what these guys are fattening their pockets, we're in trouble. If you're not seeing it now, so it's not busy selling. Imagine, bro. When I vote, okay, so we voted like EFF. It's I don't know what percent they got, 13%, whatever. I don't know what percent. 24%. Okay, now. Okay, so now they've gone up by 10%. Now, how does your day change? Your day. I'm going to English. Tell me what's changed. Ulinde 4 hours lining. Hey, no, kulo 4 hours uhambile bethu wathenga i20 amalus uhamba wethenga malini 20 rand dayisiluze 1 250 wahlanganisa leyo mali uhamba uthenga icarton. You could have done something. You could have done something low 4 hours ukuthi uja check mhlawumbe usunu 150.
Yeah.
Uhamba uthenga lo uthenga amanabukeni ubuye. That's something for your actual kids though. That's something for your actual kids. We are so preoccupied with this victim mentality of waiting for them. I mean, I'm happy that these fucking guys are unemployed. Good. Makes it easier for us. There's no competition anymore, right? So we spoke on Instagram. What I said, let's work.
Simple.
Reschedule. While you sleeping and making excuses, by the time you look up, we further dog.
Yes. And we're so heavy.
Keep making excuses.
Keep making excuses, man.
We're gonna keep making more content. By the time you look up, we've dropped 10 videos. By the time you look up, we've dropped 50 videos, 100 videos. By the time you look up, we're sitting on 1 million subscribers. Everyone is what?
Second, this guy.
I can't keep waiting, dog.
Yeah.
We can't, bro. How long? Hey, bro, I'm 34. I look at it now and I was like, yes, there's so many things where I was waiting for someone. Ngilinde nami ngicenga. Ngicela nami mhlambe makukhona isikhala nami ningifaka. Ya noma ngizohlala ebenchini ngizolilinda. Ngicela nje ningibize ilili. Like, okay, sure. No one cares. Who cares? Ukuthi wena awuna next. Who cares? I personally don't care. Why must I don't? And like this whole concept of we think Utu Ramaphosa cares about us. We think Uti Ubano or Helen Zila what they care. They play their own game. They've got their own things that they're trying to focus. You know. So give me when someone comes with the concept of voting, I just want to understand Uti, how will it change for me and my kids in short, medium, long term? And if it makes sense, I'll do it. And if it doesn't make sense, can I just focus on my things? Mina nginenkinga boy. Ezingaphezu kwamandla mzangisini. Focus on lezo zinto. Yabo. Njengamanje bethi ngikhulula lokhu. Uyinaka okwakho ngenza ukunaka okwakho. Mase nami nina and that's where my mindset is. So I really think with Tina as the black child, especially black men, we really need to stop waiting for people to come and save us. And you, Lauko, by yourself, look in the mirror and say, okay, sure, I'm in this position. For whatever reason. Okay, sure. Sucks for you, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm not a chick. Sure. Sucks for you, but I'm here. What's my next step? What does it look like? You know. Nyasaba, something in Nani. Okay, yazi, ibo, shapa 10. Each and was 10, 6. Sure. Namhlanje, nakusazi ngishaw 6. Nalela ngishaw 6. After 2 weeks, ngishaw 7. After a year, shapa 5. Okay, sure. Whatever. Keep going. You know. Oqala kade udayisa amaluzi mhlawumbe kade udayisa into ongamele udayisa ngingasho kwecamereni but udayisa lokho mhlawumbe when waziwa nje nami ubhuti udayisa amaluzi khona umjida. Here's the story. Uspi, we went to school to Uspi. Abantu bala Newcastle bayamazi. Now she's all smiles in fact. So shout out. Uspi wayidayisa ama pin pop. Uyabona ama pin pop?
Yeah.
Yabona ama yogurts game. I'll never forget the story. Because it's a microcosm on how the world works. Uspi was one of those guys from a very, very underprivileged home, you know, and you could see with the uniform. Yeah, but from the height, the way I could you could see with this guy, okay, sharp. Uspi, what color is my pin pop? My pin pop, every day, pin pop.
Very.
Yeah, but that's my pin pop. And we saw this over time. Obviously, it was a hard, not just for a long time, also clear. You, he kept going. I think within like a term, would be like, which I'm check up at the scales to call Krxtoz boy. Which I check called the tickets boy. Which I'm check up at the petty commerce and like, still the sports in fresh. Next thing it was be, I was out there, out there, pop. I know I'm out there, not pimple. How and then I know calling to another power grade 8 there's my pimple. Usu supplier.
Intwana lezi.
You know, uthenga uya inendawo not city never uthenga ibulk masefika edayisela intwana sipusha ama. You understand? Unfortunately, because again we have to deal with the enemy abelungu mamvala. Yeah, one, but you no longer do that. You know, which again is young. Now you're being threatened with being suspended. What's up? You know, in a different space, we would have said no. Sell it to them after school, and then they'll push. Yeah, one. But again, it's just an indication. While we're sitting, see, I need some clear.
Yeah.
That's not next point. Let's be because to ourselves not some point. Sesicela lo mjikelo. Asimlapha sekuyena manje mfethu ubethi nathi brand ambani nothenga amazamba. Yabona? And we don't have that mentality. We don't have that. And it's sickening because we live in a time where we think tomorrow is going to be better. We live in a time where like, yo, singathi ungaphela nje 2023 ngene nje 2024. Ukuphela nje 2024. If the rand was this week, this year, how week will it be next year? If what magic thing is going to happen in 2024 that can't happen today? Yini le ekulindile? Noma mhlambe ngonyoyo uzophuma number PowerPoint. Like what is it that will happen next year that can't happen now? So this illusion of next year, we're waiting. The Messiah, Jesus is coming back to save us. Oh God, lindile. Hey baba. Thina boy. We've got peers right now. Bahleli bayaphuza bajahe ingane. Thina silana sakujuluka sasifana. We don't have any excuses, guys. Siyavuka ekuseni sishaya imoto sisuke eGoli siselana sasifana. That's what it is. Like, But anyway, the just to unpack that unemployment one, it's a real serious one. We've been sold a lot of illusions. One of it is one of the points that you're talking about in terms of education and tertiary. That's another bullshit thing that we've been sold. You've got all these kids that are matriculating. In this country, less than 5% of kids actually, after their matric year, get into a university space. So what's meant to happen with the other 95%? What's meant to happen? And then of the graduates, how many of them get a job? You know. So again, what are people studying? You're funda logistics. You keep in mind. You're funda logistics. Logistics awazi usebenza. You know. There's no practical application. Going back to the swimming example, when a PhD of swimmer would have doesn't get manzini. It was fine. Yeah, but the need to we have all these theoretical papers that mean nothing. I need when I didn't know which to believe it.
Khona leshandisileyo ukuthi abantu bayivalele emakhoneni ukuthi ngisegoli egoli kuyashisa lapho bethu namanga sekhala kubo bethu uthuzela
the biggest problem that we have, I believe, is that with abantu bazothini. Ishaya sonke at all levels of life. Shama oledi when oledi bethu lihambe le rents lo thenga room divider because under pressure because Espani nabo sebevukile yabona thenga lunch suite thenga izinto she can't afford, you know. Bona amajita bethu enza izinto snacks because ufuna ukuthenga le thizini, you know. Bona amajita anganamali kodwa azama yabona bodle le Hennessy khona azoshootha post. Yeah, you understand le umjita bethu akana next, but sonke sinale pressure. That's why Osizweni namhlanje are going to sell ass with guys that they don't like, they don't know, so that bazokwazi ukuthola i-handbag khona it's shower pressure point. So you end up lying, or you end up uforsa uke varsity, you're not ready, you don't know what you're going to go study. You know, ukhinywa amaloni, ukhinywa ilokhu, ufake under pressure, ungazi uyenzani. Uhlala lapho 1-2 years, 1-2 fail, ungazi kanjani. So again, it's a huge problem. Angazi ukuthi singashintsha kanjani this mindset that we have. Forget them. Whether you're doing well, whether you're doing bad, everyone doesn't want to talk shit though. They will always talk shit. They will always talk shit. So forget about them. You know. So I don't know, because I also suffer from that thing. Would see like, okay, I need to make sure that I articulate myself this way because I'm a try not to swear because I'm only does try to wear long sleeve shirts so they don't see you. Not me, I don't want to act like I ain't shy every now and again, you know. Man, at the end of the day, fuck you. Who are you? You know, like you don't affect nothing of mine. So I think if we can get past that, if we can get past the whole social media bullshit and be authentic as best as we can, you know, so that the guys coming behind you, you know, and I think it's just that constantly trying to not necessarily ukukutsakela, but in a way, ukutsakela to yabona, look at what I'm doing. And I'm like, cool, up and fresh kanjani, up ukuthi ngiphethe into enjani, up ukuthi lapho uyafa ngaphakathi. Nah. Yo, it's a big thing. And again, that especially tertiary. Hey, was in Tasso. The chickad, they don't fail at university, guys. Hey, what I'm knowing, Zanny. Hey. But it's book access man.
Look at us now.
No, man. I'm in a space that I didn't study, and people don't understand that. So I mean, media. I don't have a media degree. I don't have a media, you know, and I'm management, so I have a very, I guess, important role in the company that I'm at. But I don't have any media qualification, you know. So it's the school of hard knocks. You know, we figure this shit out as we go along. There's no one who taught you how to podcast. You know, you guys are doing a phenomenal job, but you're figuring it out. You're looking at the angles, you're looking at the lights, and you're looking at this, you're figuring it out, and every day is gonna get better and better and better and better. And then you look back in a year from now, you're like, it's not bad. You know, and that's the thing, right? And then you figure it out, and you get better, and you get better, and you get better. But like, let's go with you have to now go, I want to become a Mac chief. Oh, let me go to a after so that I can learn marketing and different camera angles, so that okay, if you have the privilege, the time, the money, about you, okay, sure. Or you can just take your phone, beg against the cabinet and start talking and uploading the videos. That's also another way to learn. And for the us who are not privileged, that's how we have to learn. Yeah.
But I feel like that's a short. 15 minutes.
We're thinking with a attention span. Attention span. No, I so with my videos, first thank you so much for the support, brother. Like I truly, honestly appreciate that. Can I tell a little story about the video? Sure. So I was actually on a podcast, Game Changers, with Lelo, sorry. Amazing lady. So guys,
Lelo.
Game Changers.
This guy.
Game Changers podcast. And we were talking about why I started the YouTube thing. And I was saying, so again, even when I got into media, I was never interested in being in front of a camera at all. I never, ever interested. I was like, I think, yes, it's social media. As much as it was ugange, tola my DM, you know, as much as it was ugange, tola my DM, I was so I think it was in a phase where I think, so much I'm full with banjo. You understand? So I was like, I'm not going to do the social media thing.
Clean up well, man. You clean up well.
So I was like, I'm not going to do the social media thing. I'm not a big fan. So I got into media, and my now manager, Uros, was saying, she had a campaign for me to do on Instagram. And she was like, hey, I've got a campaign for NHA. She's like, I know you like training. Can you just do like a picture where you have an NHA, you know, HME? I was like, yeah. I was like, how much do they pay? She's like, 500 grand for his tombe. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a 6-pack of NHA, you know, whatever that, and yeah, power rate, whatever. When a HME, you just make sure then we give you 500 rand. I was like, okay, no sharp. And then she sent me the details to apply this one platform, and I got rejected. You needed 1,000 followers or whatever it's called on Instagram, and I had like 600. This is 2020. I had like 600. I was like, sure. And she's like, don't worry, another one's gonna come. I was like, but I'm gonna lose because I don't have my followers, whatever it's called. She's like, just keep posting. And I was like, and that's not man. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start this social media thing. So I started posting, and like and I started getting these campaigns. Nemali yakho siyaqalisa nyanga. Yabona uyaposta mhlawumbe manje sekunika 800 ushaya video, and then I was lucky enough because I now quote via USD. So chaza kabi le No, you know, like when people send you a message, oh, please can you post this? And I'm like, I charge like 250 USD to post. And like now I must post your pop thing. But anyway, so I started that journey. Né? I started that journey, kancane kancane. And my brother was busy doing the he was transitioning from Facebook to YouTube. Yabona. Ulungele, I don't know if you guys know, he was really big on the Facebook stuff, you know, and he was using Facebook just as his own type of therapy. And he did a lot of these videos, you know. And I remember in around the 2020, he'd always be like, hey, bro, I should YouTube, I should podcast. I'd be like, there's no way I'm not going to do that crap. And he'd always say, send the podcast, send the podcast, send the podcast. And I'd be like, nah, it's like, if it's like, we're okay, we don't have to do anything. And he kept on saying, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. So he started doing the whole YouTube thing. He started doing the YouTube thing. I think he met Utebza, his business partner, with the panel show. They met later, and I remember meeting these guys. I'm like, oh, these all these weird losers, you know. And he's sitting in his place, and they're doing this podcast thing, and they did it the whole 2021. I remember in 2021, he was like, I'm actually serious about this thing. I'm gonna do this thing. And he's like, end of 2021, I remember we had a family meeting with him and myself, and he's like, I'm so serious. I want to blow up. I want to get big. You know, bro, whatever, you know. So he does this thing. Yeah, when they push. 2022 last year, he does it. He every single day told me early podcast. And I do a video last year, April or whatever, June. I do a video, and it was talking about, I think, men or whatever. And yes, I did video not because of influencer video, because then katele umuntu on my back, telling me all the time, Muti. And then I did the video, and then I sent to him, fuck it. My brother then goes on to a podcast and chill with Dumek Team. So great time. He blows up again. It was amazing. We're so proud as a family. And then, unfortunately, a couple of episodes later, Umek then says, Uguti, Rob Hersoff is the funder behind the film. So then my brother starts trending negatively on Twitter. I was like, oh,
But he was captured.
I was like, what does that mean, captured? You know, I was like, no, do you guys know the panel show is shot by Tribal Media House. It's Debza's company. Debza has a company that is registered. Like you guys have a company that's registered, you know, and they've gone 50-50. He owns the 50% where he can chat in his name. The other person owns the 50% where it's a corporate. That seems like a partner. Who paid for it? Now, if you want to go and shoot for Tribal Media House, you can go. You can rent them and go. Like, why would you say that his equipment is, you know? And I remember talking to my brother. I'm like, what this guy is saying is shit. That's what Tinulunga. What Tinulunga give me? Yeah, I'm alone in this space, and I have no one to back me. Oh, okay, bro. I just crashed, and I was like, you know, and I've said this on many platforms. Like in my family, the way that we see my brother, we see him as our leader. You know, he's the captain of this team. And in my role, I come in as the protector. You know, we have different things, we have different skills. You know, so when our leader is saying this, Mina as the protector, I failed to do my job. You know, and I was like, okay, no trouble. And I think the following day, I recorded like 5 episodes, and I just started uploading them. And I just started, we did the pen and pen. We just started recording the pen and pen all the time. And I started the whole thing because I wanted people to understand Wuti. So just understand with me, for something like I'm fine now because he likes to talk and he likes to be diplomatic and try to have these conversations.
For my seal.
I think so. Because you're protecting those that you love, you know, especially in today's time when people can actually say horrible things that can affect your life. You know, people can say bad things about you that can affect your day to day. I was like, no, so unnecessary. So I started my little journey of vlogging, you know, because I don't interview people, you know, it's just vlogging my day to day, my thoughts about the world, my thoughts about the community that we live in, my thoughts about relationships, my thoughts about family, you know, and I just started vlogging, and Gangani, there's a bit of growth, you know, that I've seen in the past like year. I think my goal, the beginning of the year, I had a goal. I wanted to get 500 subscribers by my birthday in April, and then I surpassed that goal. My bigger goal was to get 2,000, what? 2,000 by the end of the year subscribers. So I beat that goal as well.
Mm.
You know, so like I've seen that in 1 year I've managed to get I think 3,500. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. Then let's see what next year looks like. But it's not me doing a podcast. It's just me talking about my little journey. Opened the school, I was just talking about this is how my day was today. I struggled in videography. I had a hard time in Afrikaans. But let's see what's tomorrow. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just vlogging my journey, and I'm hoping when people watch the stuff, they can relate with what they can relate with. You know, it can make them think about certain things and challenge themselves and challenge me. So especially about the relationship stuff, because I think Tina, as a generation, we struggle with relationships, and a relationship is the anchor of the community. You know, the reason why we fucked up the way that we are is because there's no more homes. There's no more morals, there's no more values, there's no more ethics that happen in the home. So isn't it just is into ingane fucked up before is the nationality again. Yeah, one. So again, ingane with no grounding, with no values, with no respect in the household. Uzoba yini? Ngaphandle. A person who has no work ethic la endlini. Yabona akakwazi ukuhlanyela. Uzoba yini ngaphandle. Yabona umuntu ongakwazi ukusihlonipha esithande la endlini. Uzoba njani ngaphandle. So those are the type of things that I'm trying to verbalize and hopefully guide and advise as best as I can. You know, I'm not perfect, I'm far from perfect, but in this journey I'm also learning, and I'm hoping that others learn. Yeah.
Ifundisa bethu abantu abaningi uma ngathiwa nobudo wakho but khona ezinye izinto engahlanganisi nani reunite nokuthi like fana mawuyibuka leyo shandisile ukuthi ekuse Penson obhuti bethu mawuthi mina ngingazwanga phela lokuvula izinto eziningi. It's okay, nice to play rap pen.
So he was a fucking amazing rugby player. He played KZN 2 years in a row. Yeah, Lungelo, he was very, very talented. Very, very talented. I think, Tina, as a family, I think sometimes there's misconception, you know, because you'll see the family like, oh, they're so close. Not understanding, Muti, in order to get that close, you need to have gone through a lot of pain. I don't think there's any siblings that have fought more than me and my brother. You go through all of that. Here's the difference. People would say, but with your brother, what happens if there's a dispute? At this age, whatever my brother says, and I say, at the end of the day, do I agree with everything he says? No. But I understood that through years of having to fight. Years of having to fight. People don't understand, with me and my family, we speak all the time. I hear family say, are we close? I see my family once a month or no, low. If I check my phone now, in the group between me, him, and my brothers, we're in a group and my sisters by 3, I will probably see 100 messages. Low. After this, the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna ask me, so how did the interview go? How's the podcast? Okay, what are the points? Okay, sharp. How can you link me with the chance? He wants to know details. He came back from Dubai on Saturday. As a figure. Says him Lindy, okay, sure. Dubai, Wednesday, Udleni. It's fully detailed, the feedback.
Okay.
That's it all. We as a family, we've gone through a lot of pain. And the last thing that we want is to see any family member slipping and falling again. You know. So be it my sister, be it my mom, we're very close in it. But to get there, guys, you need to have hard conversations with your siblings. You need to have hard conversations with your family members. And you say, Saba, you know. So Saba, it's trying to when in a time and when's the land? Hi, when no, let's find out what the problems were, you know, so that I don't repeat them. You know, some people species ingane like kind of mazani sibiza ngawonke amagama abuhlungu. Kanti mhlawumbe ne-old yalinje. Yabona, ingane la ekhaya iphinde the same mistakes that the already did, but the already zenza ngcwele manje. Instead of saying ezintana mazi nami ngangosha amaflopa so ngenza amaflopa nje nami emgadi yabona. And I think that's a lot of time we run away from difficult conversations, and the solutions at the end of the difficult conversation. You know, so people will see me and my brother talking on these platforms and say, oh, great something relationship. if you ever see something great and admirable, you must understand you would see behind there comes a lot of work. If you see a guy who drives a very nice car, you must understand that behind there comes a lot of work. Whether the work was done legally or illegally. If it's illegal, this guy is dodging bullets at night. If it's legal, we should trying to hustle. If you see a guy with a six-pack, you must understand there's a lot of sacrifice to get to that point. You know, whatever the case may be, if you see something that's also normal, understand which behind that there's a load of work. See people that have been married for 50 years, understand that relationship has gone through fire in order to get to that point. You know, and I think sometimes we just want to get the fruits without having to work on the garden. And that is the day-to-day. That's the hot part. Kipukula is an every fucking day job for you to only eat the fruits once a year. You know, so I know Uti Ulungelo Peno would be very appreciative for that amazing comment. But let's work on the black families, guys. We fall behind other races. We need to work together. If you look at the Muslim community, guys are working very well together. Look at the Jewish community, working very well together.
I think out of it, but keep like 200 bucks a bit not to according to show me. 200 bucks.
So
the Ethiopians.
What's Verwoed in creating and masterminding the system of apartheid? Because we don't give this guy credit. This is a guy who was he had, I think, a PhD in philosophy and psychology. He studied in Germany. This guy studied the Nazis. He studied what the Nazis did with the Jews. He studied what they did well and what they didn't do well. And he created a system of apartheid and he planted it. So we were a theoretical and a experiment that was done phenomenally well, successful in every way. We think that apartheid was about separating us physically. Apartheid was about separating us mentally. Apartheid was Amazulu thinking that they better than Amaxhosa thinking that they better than Amapedi thinking that they better than Amaven. The apartheid was about Abagadlamini thinking that they better than Abagazwani thinking that they better than Abagamloch. Separation. It was a matter of not separating physically. That's easy. We can bring, but it's separated here like high. So now when you have a concept of they are there, we are here, how can you build like that? How can you build MDNE? I mean, I see families where the one sibling is living in dire poverty while the other one is driving German cars, while the other one is I see that. I see Ingane like is struggling in every way, and you see their siblings, blood siblings struggling, you know. And I'm not saying, obviously, in every family, you can't save everyone, I get you. But are they attempts to, are they just attempts to assist? It doesn't have to injure with into cash, but just say, okay, no, Donna, I understand. In terms of apply Pick n Pay, no, okay, as in investor how can I at least assist? And I'm seeing families where bona bafuna ukunaka ukuthi mase kubuye bona ngoDisemba kubona ukuthi kubuyile uphuthi madlisa awuzozivusa ngecase they live off that. They live off that ego, that boost. They live off feeling superior. So if you really got an apartheid of mind within a family, imagine us as abantu omnyama. Imagine we struggle. I struggle. I'm not trying to act like I'm better. I struggle. But now I need to do better within my own family. I've got cousins. I've got half brothers and half sisters that I need to do a lot better and in assisting. Now I'm also part of the problem. I might be better off than some, but I also need to also look back and say, okay, how can I help here? How can I help here? How can I help here? How can I fix this? How can I rebuild? By coming to platforms like this, it reminds me, Wuti, if I have what I have, my job is to reach out and light your candle and light your candle. Because Iksasa, the candle it might blow out. I mean, the candle might blow out. But if I ensure Wuti, I lit your candle, when my candle blows out, what's going to happen? Right? We don't have that. If you look at what the guys are doing in let's say, Cashman, music, you have Birdman, you've got Slim. What do? They light Lil Wayne's candle. What does Lil Wayne do? He lights Drake's candles, Nicki Minaj candles, Tiger's candles. We all know that Lil Wayne's candle has blown off. But Drake always mentions the big homie. Drake always mentions Birdman. They always pay homage, right? And that's what you want. If you look at Jay-Z, we were talking about this the other day. We wouldn't have known who J. Cole was. Every day a star is born, right? And what does Jay-Z do? I'm gonna put him on. Look at what J. Cole is doing.
Hey, bro.
You know, what's that first party shooter? What's that song? That Shoot 'em all. Now all of a sudden we're busy like, hey, J. Cole is something. All he needs to do because no one's talking about Jay-Z's music, but we'll always give respect to Jay-Z because that's what he did. See, now we can't do that. We literally can't say, okay, no sharp. Besides the Mahotman, Utira, no Oskiro. I'm trying to obvious Sbuda, yes, what a fucking proper monster of a man, you know. But like Sbuda, Tira, Oskido. But in terms of hip hop, I love Casper's music, but who has he put on? I know. I'm gonna pause me. Oh, Pink!
Pink.
No, Lale, you want us to name? Ikalawa who Kalawa's put on? Who's speaking about Bafakubani? We're talking about hundreds of artists. If we're talking about Oskido, hundreds of artists. If we're talking about Brian Dash, Usbu. If we're talking about Uproki, Usbu. RIP to all these people I'm naming. I'm talking about real shit. You can't tell me about all Casper's job is to make sure they've got a squad of kids that are coming through now. Casper should have like 50 kids that he doesn't have to necessarily hold their hand in every platform, but he needs to know whenever he's performing somewhere, he's got these kids that are always going to start. We need to know them now. Casper, you've been big for a while. AKA has been big for who has he put on? It's almost like we have this single mentality. In the Bayazi, beef. AKA, no, Casper, beef. You know, like you think while Casper's doing a boxing thing, maybe in your next thingy, have other guys fight that bubbling that we can see. We don't even know real boxers in this country. Why are you not having them in your fight so we can? Why are we not putting people on? I mean, I look at all these platforms that we have, and I'm like, there's so many talented guys that just need that opportunity to say, hey, guys aren't willing to do that. They don't go to bed by one. As they want. We can't do those things, bruh. And the only time that they will actually reach out is if they can see there's a benefit. Now, once this channel starts popping, hey, where were you when I needed you, though? When my candle was but now with us and where we are, I know what at any point I can before image it's gonna happen, and vice versa. Because again, there's no benefit that I'm getting, and there's no real benefit that you guys are getting. We're just working together in the hopes with Iksasa there will be benefits. You know, whereas these platforms, if you want to benefit now, some of these platforms charge you. If you want to be a guest on that platform or that platform, my podcast, you have to pay them. And you're like, yes, sirs. And then it's fine. What's an interview of Spanban? That's some bullshit.
Some bullshit for real.
Nah.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, fam. I know a lot of these guys pay. Yeah. I'm knocking guys' hustles and I shouldn't say.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, do your thing.
Hey, do your thing. I don't know. If that's how you secure the bag, I ain't mad.
Hey.
No, but for me, like, unless someone is there to sell their product, I guess, like, if you're coming to my platform and you're trying to advertise your clothing, then maybe you need to pay. Maybe if you like a political party trying to sell your. But if I'm trying to talk to a young up and coming tech kid, no, it must come, it must talk. If I'm talking to a guy who was a prisoner and the lessons here are to tell the youth how to do things better, they must talk. Why are they getting, why must they know? Let's not mismanage the platform that we have. You know, you're just using it to enrich your pockets and get some DMs. Nah, fam. Like, give me. I don't appreciate that.
Yo, you see it, bro. You got to discover it, but this coffee.
Nice.
Yo.
Nice.
Yeah. We're learning a lot, man.
I want to know, in your ideal world, if you had like the power, like what changes would you implement?
Yeah.
I'm the dictator.
Yeah.
Hey. Why are you laughing? So it's one of those things that I always romanticize. Which if I was president of the day, I'd change so much. And again, it might sound like a sloppy, soft question, but I mean answer, but it's such a bigger thing. I'll always go back to the family unit. I'll always go back to the home. There's certain things that we keep fucking up. So when you're challenging, Instagram.
Okay.
Ngifuna ukubona ukuthi upostani. Is what you're posting here to build a community or break the community? I'll give you an example. We grew up listening to something R&B, right? How were the guys singing about our sisters for R&B? How were they singing? They were romanticizing our sisters. They were talking beautiful things about our sisters, right? And Tina school, I guess, and talking beautiful life into her, right? If you listen to like Lauryn Hill, Jill Scott, how are they talking about our brothers? They're talking about strong brother, black brother. They were talking beautiful things, life into them. What happened? Or move, bitch. Get out the way. What happened to the community? To the sweat chop down, my boy. What happened to the mindset? Think about the role that music has played from when it was about ukuhlonipha usisi, ukuhlonisa ubhuti. Now it's all about ass, titties, get the back, finesse the guys. It's all about them hoes this, them hoes that. Né? So if I was president, I'd start changing everything like that. Those little, because those things shape the mind of the youth. You know, what they are visualizing on Instagram is what's shaping them. Us is to every single day are seeing ladies posting a bouquet of roses with 200 rand notes. That's shaping her mind. So when I'm on Jola, that means that now an expectation, which you have a bouquet of roses with 200 rand notes. What's shaping our sisters' minds? That's shaping our sisters' minds. The titties always hanging out. That's shaping our sisters' minds all the time. So right now we're becoming very materialistic. We weren't born like this. We're becoming extremely materialistic because that's all we are seeing. That's all we are hearing in our music every single day. I'm not against material things. I'm not against people highlighting the beautifulness of their bodies. I'm not. I'm trying to say, what we are posting, are we trying to grow society or we not? If we go on Instagram and we just go into just a search page and we're looking there, is that stuff growing us as a people? Is that stuff breaking us down? Is that stuff giving you anxiety because you're now checking the 70 rand account out? That's all you have from now till God knows when. Is what you're consuming every day, your diet, because that's your diet, that's your mental diet. Is it building you or is it breaking you down? Constantly being fed this bullshit on social media, therefore you can never measure up. If we can go to social media right now and I just pick a random guy, any random guy on social media, and I say measure your life to that random guy, will you measure up? Never. You'll never. And now you're constantly being fed a diet of you being lesser. You see every single girl on social media, she's way hotter than your chick. Every girl, magically, is way hotter than your chick. Then why when you learn the gorilla? You constantly competing. I'm at DM. You're anxious all the time. It's creating a system where mentally we can't make our own decisions. We can't move in a right or vibrate in a right wavelength. We're constantly chasing things, and it's affecting our everyday. It's affecting our family units. We never sit. I'm to blame. I'm always on my phone. So we're no longer having real concrete conversations unless it's done by our podcast. You know, so we never sit and have concrete conversations. We never sit in a situation where we never have that. Everyone is away in their little silos. You're busy consuming that, someone's consuming that, someone. It's cracked and destroyed the foundation of the home. How do you parent? Let's check with the social media how people parent. How do you date in today's time? Let's check with social media how date. All of this is fake and it's bullshit. It's like watching porn and thinking that's how sex is. First and foremost, so already you think that you can't measure up as a man, right? Because you can't. Can't measure up. Because again, they're teaching us how sex should be, which it's not. They're teaching us how relationships should be, which is not. They're teaching us how parenting should be, which is not. You know, so when are you always like, I'm failing in every department of my life? In every department. So I'm given the power, I'm like, look, Also poster into that is something to empower. If you're gonna post you and your kids, have real things. Would hey guys, yenze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, these are the nice things. Being parenting is hard. 99% of it is very tough. The 1% is fine. Hey guys, I've been saving for the past 3 months. Celebrate on birthday yam. You know, not ukuthi into engithenga njalo. Hey guys, njengoba ngibona ugqoke kanje ngiphiwe leskipa lesi. Yabona, something where people can like, okay, this is actually a reaction on life. Hey, yabona, we posting this picture, mina no baby wami. Sibuya ukuyoxabana. Kanti kunzinyana, but now we've made up. Not ukuthi njalo sibona sengathi happy. Elevation mina ma up and down. Let ukuthi njalo sesibona labo sisi laba bangama influencers sengathi yonke it perfect. And then when buya relationship uthi but why mina yami njalo kanje? Buka abantu njalo sithenga imoto, nisithenga imoto, nisithenga imoto. Kanti awazi ukusebenza car dealership. When we zonke lezi zinto are affecting our mindset, and as a result, we feel less, or we're more anxious, we feel like a loser. You know, if you feel like a loser, you start acting like a loser. You know, and again, it goes back to our diet, our music, our social media, everything that is affecting our brain. So I would start with that, and those are the things that are really, really focused on changing, and now spinning the narrative to build it. You know, we want families that work hard. We want families that can sow back into the communities. We want musicians that is about praising our sisters. We want musicians that are about praising our brothers. We want musicians that are about praising the nation. We want people who are breathing life into our people, breathing life into our nation. That's what I'd do if I was given that power. Damn, bro. Yeah, we-advertise abantu ayadayisa angithi mina bangitshengisa icoke ku-social media ngisuke ngiyidayisa nansi icoke yini idayisa no angisho ukuthi ungathweki akuthwekeli umuntu wakho ejabule naye ebona ukuthi there's certain things that are just reserved for him naye ebe naleyo pride ukuthi awubheke lo yabona sina sokubona umuntu omuhle siyambona ishape asidingi ukuthi benqumusa akubona ukuthi ecala siseyigayile yes but manje siyo sitting challenge sesibose ethu ngabanga bethu hayi bethu no man no ways. I think it's just those things where I'm like, and unfortunately if you go on TikTok like the sitting challenge, it's little 15, 16-year-old girls. Yeah, one. So that's already their mind has already been conditioned. So now you've got Tina, us creepy old guys busy looking at 15-year-olds. That's what we're doing. Safe down. Yeah, well, it's not them, it's us creepy old niggas, because we are the ones that are validating these girls. We are the ones that are following these girls. So if she posts herself, Ayeezy, she just cooked rice, whatever. She posts that. We don't like that. Whatever. Yeah. She's posting the fact that she's doing videography, homework, whatever. What post is in a challenge? 101,000 likes. So what does that tell her?
1 million views.
1 million views. So what does it tell her? It tells her what's a good job because she's getting claps. Let me do it again. And then she does one where she does it and it's even more of her body showing. More likes. She has more likes. More. So what's the point of me posting, this is how you make history, or this is how you make it? What? That doesn't get any views. What's the point of me doing a video about how to help a grade 8 girl adjust into high school? That doesn't get any views. This year, me showing my ass crack, that's what gets the views. That's what people want to see. Then they keep going because they're young and impressionable. By the time she looks up and she's 30, then she realizes all that was fake views because no one really wants to be with it. You know, no one wants to buy immortal asset driving school.
Yeah,
it's respect, dog. Look, bro, this has been the beginning of time. Something that is rare is highly valued, generally speaking. Diamonds, gold, platinum, those are rare. Those are highly valued. You know, there's a reason that when you see a bird like a parrot, beautiful. Do you see a parrot every day?
No.
But you see a pigeon every day. It's not about nature. Yeah, one. So when as you see, it's very simple. I look at these sisters with public Instagram accounts. I'm like, what are you advertising for? It's the moment you make it rare as Usis, instantly your value does this. If I'm a cheat, I know what you are cooking as Usis. They know because we'll see, we've got eyes. But none of us can claim what we've been in.
Yeah.
What happens to the Usis's value? But if all of us as a cheat have been there, yeah, but when she walks past her, and then next thing, that's a fact. And I say who's supposed to spare to us in Mpela if they want to increase their own value as OCC, just respect yourself more. That's all you need to do is just respect yourself more. The rarer you are, the harder it is for guys to have access to you, the higher your value. None of us in this room can afford a Ferrari. That's why it's valued the way it is. You know, Ayeezy is valued because abantu abaningi can get Ayeezy. It is what it is. You know, so when Usisi, if you're trying to be a Ferrari and value yourself there, then be rare. It's calling that you see once every blue moon in blue. Kodwa uprudence uyaluzayo adlala yaprudence sonke siphuma khona mos uyena nje sifundisa ibhayisikili lana ngithi sifunda ngayo mos yabona iyona imoto yase driving school uyena wasifundisa ukudrive angithi safunda ngayo klasha safunda ngayo prudence ubhalise bethi shwe hey uzishela abantu iwongeja boy ewongeja udluli awuzubona ngokuthi sendishu. That's what you need to do. And unfortunately, you try and explain this to our sisters, especially when they're young and their bodies are doing their things, but they crave that attention. They crave it so much that it kills them. By the time they get into their 30s and they realize which they moved in a very toxic way, I'm not willing to buy that car. I don't know if you're willing to buy that car. I'm not willing to buy that car. You know, because you know, and it's been used and abused. That's just a fact. It's not a shot on anyone, but it is what it is. That's why we get so preoccupied with what's your body count. You know, we just want to know how much has this car been used. You know, not just from a physical point, but just from an emotional point. The more relationships, even as facts, the more relationships that you've been in, that means there's certain trauma that you experience. City, you've been in 5 relationships, about cheating, whatever the case is. You have a traumatic experience, and that's unfortunately is going to affect your next relationship. So if you've been in a relationship where also cheated, already Lomusha is going to have, she'll have to bear the cross of the past. So check because you carry the trauma of your past relationships there. So now as cheater, the more is the more now we use and abuse one now. Because you are rare now. There's certain guys that you just don't see, you know, and when you do see, you see, but now but increase your value, but if you're constantly you can get now. Especially also space, especially from a physical point, especially from that. Man, valley gaps, it's man, valley man, valley zim, saligan. Yeah, that's where it Since that one time, we were told that final was so into that one time. No. I mean, just upset. I mean, we can just imagine. Very excited, and I think that will increase her value. It's okay. She's an amazing girlfriend because she does the girlfriend things to her man. See, now we don't have privy to it because of stolen. You know, and then hopefully other sisters will see that. But yeah, you're 100% right. So sis, mama actually need
I feel like we covered the topics.
Hi fam. Cool media, yes. How long has it been from just
1 hour? How many?
2
hours.
10 minutes of it. 2 minutes of it.
Jeez.
11 minutes.
Damn,
I sincerely apologize.
I apologize for being rude, bro. We really appreciate, your presence.
There's a competition engine with who has the biggest I hope that this part because I know there's an individual that will cut this and then show my mom. I don't gonna watch it.
It's a game that's called Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather able to take back anything you say or hear any conversation that is about you?
So I can either take back a conversation that I've said,
Yeah.
or I hear.
Any conversation that is about you. Like,
I'd rather hear a conversation.
why is that?
I'd rather hear a conversation.
Yeah.
I think things that I've said and things that I've done has got me to this point where I'm at right now. You know, good and bad.
Yeah.
You know, have led me to where I am right now.
Mm.
I don't like being reactive to things. I'd rather be proactive.
Oh.
So I can anticipate what I can do. I'm fully surprise. So I'd rather hear what someone party so I can then clearly do them. But what I've done, and I've made many mistakes, and I've apologized to all the relevant people. But I'm also very appreciative, and I wouldn't take back conversations or actions that I've done. So I like that question actually. It's a brilliant question.
Would you rather have a photographic memory or the ability to forget anything you want?
Yeah, man. And again, I think it goes close to what I was saying initially. We are our pain, bro. You know, we are our pain. You know, a lot of the things that we do every day is trying to heal that past pain, and with that pain, there's great lessons that I don't think you should necessarily forget. So I'll take the photographic memory.
Photographic
I think I think Nenzimala.
Yeah.
I think Nenzimala. But yo, yes, that's also fucking hell. Yo, there's some painful memories that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Would you find success but not love, or find love but not success?
I'll cheat this answer. I'll cheat it. I think in finding love, I found my success. So that's how I view it. I think in today's time, we will quickly link success to the material, and we'll link it to money. You know, and money comes and goes. So if I can find love, and yes, I am loved and I love, I believe to me, I would then be successful as well. Yeah.
Great answer, man. Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loyalty or respect?
What?
Loyalty or respect?
Loyalty, respect, both. Give me both.
Nah,
But it's both. Respect is loyalty. Loyalty is respect. Is it not? No. Respect. Yeah, but if I'll choose respect, a person to respect me, but that means, but a person who disrespect me is not. Let's just say respect. I'll choose respect. Yeah, I'll choose respect.
Yeah. In close, man. What would you rather to be remembered as?
What would you like to be remembered?
What would you like? Yeah, man.
As you guys, I remember even as a teacher, you know, I always try and tell the kids, guys, I'm not perfect. I'm really not perfect. I don't know a lot. I know a little bit about a little bit thing, and what I'm trying to do is just give a little piece of myself to Abad. You won't always agree, and you shouldn't. You won't always like, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to pour into people's cups. With the hopes that some people can pour into my cups. You know, so give me, when I look at my family, when I look at my friends, I'm literally just trying to aid. When I look at my little YouTube channel, I'm just trying to pour into people's cups. So if there's one thing that I wish I can be remembered by, is I now that came in, feel like, you know, he rolled up his sleeve. You know, he didn't do everything. But when they look, now to figure he couldn't do, but he did. You know, so I wish to be remembered by by those little actions, you know, and then each one teach one. Yeah, one. And again, next time there's someone new and someone else does the podcast, and it grows and what it is. So if I can do that in spaces, be it relationships, be it family, be it in personal, be it in business, be it in whatever space that you need to grow. If I can be remembered by a guy who came in and just made it just a little bit better, you know, if we can get one subscriber from this, one, you know, then I'll feel like I've done something. If we can get one view, then I'll be like, hey, got fun in class. You know, we've done one extra thing, and I'll be very appreciative of being remembered like that.
Yo, love that, bro. Mfethu, ayisiyabonga mfana.
No.
Ayisiyabonga mfethu. Sifunda okukhulu, sifunda okuningi mfethu. We really appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Ayisiyabonga mfethu. I'm still learning, bro. As they drop my episodes and everything. But see what the phone network siyabonga kakhulu, bro.
No, guys.
You taught us a lot today. Dog. Nah, mfethu.
No, I think from my side, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the platform. Thank you so much for reaching out. Thank you so much for reposting, you know, for sharing. Guys, please make sure you like, you subscribe, you share, because there's a lot of lessons to be learned, and we all need to teach each other. So share, subscribe, follow on Instagram and all other social media platforms. Follow guys individually and the entire podcast. There's a lot of work that we're still going to be doing. So I'm truly honored to be here. Truly honored just to share the couch with you, Machita.
Yeah. Reporting live from Lelo Studios. Bafethu. Reporting live, bafethu.
Oh yeah.
The studio.
Shout out.
Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Don't forget to subscribe once again. It's your boy Krxtoz.
And this is Ayeezy.
Penson Mlotshwa.
We out of here.
Sharp guys.
Yo, man. Yo. Bro.
No, but-